Do you keep a journal? Ever since college, I've tried off and on. I even had one of those fancy leather journals just for inspiration. Well, it started out well enough. Day one, wrote a pithy thought or two. After a few sentences, I couldn't think of anything worthwhile to write, so I set it aside. And apart from a few infrequent entries since then, there it sat, collecting dust on my shelf. Nothing very inspiring, and I couldn't understand why many of the great leaders kept one. Leonardo da Vinci, Thomas Edison, George Washington, Thomas Jefferson, Winston Churchill, Andrew Carnegie. The list goes on and on, but I wasn't on that list. Then I read Julia Cameron's book, The Artist's Way. In it, she describes a way of journaling that made sense to me. I decided to give it a try 2 years ago, and I've been doing it daily since. And here's her simple two-step approach. Step one, get an inexpensive notebook. You're going to be writing a lot of words that won't be very inspiring and downright silly at times, and a fancy journal just makes you all the more self-conscious about what you write. I like the Moleskine notebooks. They're inexpensive, but of high-quality paper. And while some people swear by journaling on a computer, I find the automatic word corrections and the inability to draw freehand kind of constricts my freedom. Step two, write 3 pages, non-stop. That's right. Just put the pen to paper, write whatever comes to mind until you're at the end of 3 pages. That might sound a little scary, but it's not all that hard. You can do it. And if you don't know what to write, then write that you don't know what to write repeatedly until, out of boredom, your brain kicks in with something more interesting to write about. Within a week of taking up Julia Cameron's approach, I found myself thinking more clearly about my goals, my aspirations, and some of the challenges I faced in pursuing them. The key was in having a different goal for journaling. In my earlier approach, the goal was to write something noteworthy. Cameron's approach is simply to write 3 pages and let whatever might be noteworthy find its way to the surface, along with all the other dross I've been thinking. I find my most valuable insights invariably come only after I've written a couple of pages and long after I would have given up on my earlier approach. If you're serious about your aspirations and you're not already journaling, you're not taking advantage of the great resource you have, your own mind. If you'd like to learn more about journaling, stop by my website, larrygates.com. Type journaling in the search box and you'll find a series of posts beginning with why I gave journaling another try that might be helpful to you. And if you're already journaling, leave a comment below and let me know how it's going.